Hello and welcome to another episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, ALLin, and we're ready to get into the topic tonight. Tonight's HEX Therapy has to do with why getting rich in crypto will drive you crazy. And then we're going to cover a lot of other awesome HEX news, check in with the community. So let's get to it. Long intro or short intro? Here we go. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Are you excited for your HEX therapy? I know I am. So the topic of why getting rich in crypto will drive you crazy. So tonight, I want to go ahead and start with the main topic so that people don't have to wait around for an hour or two to get what was promised in the title, and then we'll get lost in other topics and be able to check in with the audience and everything. So I'm just gonna make it real simple and quick here for all the hundreds of people watching on the replay. So getting rich in crypto can drive you crazy due to the volatility, right? And this is something that psychologically people can prepare for, and you need to know what you're signing up for, right? If you're getting into crypto for the first time, or if you've been in crypto for a while, either way, I think all of us would agree it's a very volatile asset. And that's a good thing, right? Because that means that price discovery is happening. It means that wealth is being transferred from the impatient to the patient. But it also comes down to how well you're able to regulate your emotions and plan. And so that's why one of the themes of this show is to have you look at your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain behind your forehead and your temple that's involved in your decision making, your planning, your emotional regulation, lots of other important stuff, right? And so one of the ways that you can improve your prefrontal cortex is by taking omega-3, 369, which is a supplement you can get for about $5 a month. And don't worry, there's not too much poison in it, right? Some people have been watching scary documentaries about fish and how they're all poisoned. So I've been convinced that omega 369 that you'll get at the store doesn't contain high amounts of metals or something like that, right? And so what this is going to do is it causes the electricity in your prefrontal cortex to not leak out, right? About 25% of the weight of your brain is supposed to be electrical insulation, and that's generated, the myelin sheath on the axons is generated by having enough omega 369. So I see Marcavelli there, trolling as usual. Welcome. So have you been taking your omega 369, Marcavelli? I know a lot of people in the hexing community, well, I'd say a good number of people who have started taking omega 369 since we started discussing this on hex therapy. And many have reported that they're thinking more clearly, making better choices. I know I am too. So go ahead and check that out. I'm sure there will be a link in the description if there isn't one in there already, and I can grab that. I'll grab a link for the people who are watching live. There we go. Awesome. So everybody's got their prefrontal cortex working as well as possible, and that's a good thing. So what else can we say about volatility? Yeah, so buying low and selling high, that's a real challenge, right? And that's because your emotions don't want you to foolishly spend your money. And so something you invest in goes down, it's hard to dollar cost average in at the lower price. We've seen HEX has done another correction. Let's see if I can bring up a HEX chart. I'm not like, I don't know. That's not really the point of this show. It's like show charts and graphs, right? We do that on Quant Gang, and you can see our 5-hour stream there. But the bottom line is HEX has gone through, I don't know, maybe 5 corrections that are this big, you know, down to 40 or 50% corrections. And it's already snapping back up like it has every time in the past. So I don't know of a time in HEX when you could have bought and held for 3 months or 4 months and been down. You know, that's pretty remarkable. And then in the crypto market, you know, Bitcoin, old man Bitcoin, as Hexo would say, you know, there's never been anybody who held Bitcoin for 3 years who wasn't in profit. And so that's one thing that we know about the Hexican community is Hexicans are long-term thinkers and people who lock their money and get rewarded to do so. And the rewards just keep coming, don't they? With what we'll talk about later in the program when it comes to what's been going on with PulseChain, the development of a fork of Ethereum that will contain the entire, or could contain the entire Ethereum system state. What else? All kinds of good stuff here for you tonight. So the volatility really hits you, you know, when in the beginning, when you're deciding how much money to put in, how much money to invest. A lot of people, this isn't financial advice, but a lot of people would tell you to dollar cost average in, which can be hard to do because there's one moment when you believe in something so much that you start investing in it. And I think naturally the idea is to ape into something, which means not using your prefrontal cortex and blindly investing in something because you heard about it on the internet. Some people will do that. Now, Elon Musk is hosting Saturday Night Live this Saturday. He might talk about crypto. What's that going to do? Nobody knows, right? He sold some of his Bitcoin. He promoted Dogecoin when he probably didn't even buy any. That Elon's a real character. He also owns X.com, which is interesting because that's what Richard is calling his placeholder token. I don't think that there's any connection there. I think that the reason Richard is calling X token X is because it's going to go up in X many times. And that's what's going to keep track of how much PulseCoin you're buying into with the sacrifice address. But we'll get to all that. The point is, aping into something not very good. Although I have read theories that buying crypto all at once has worked out a lot of times. Again, because we talk about holding for 3 years. But even when your investments go up a lot, then you usually want a dollar cost average out. And that's because it's really hard for you to predict, no matter what you tell yourself, no matter how genius you feel in a bull run, it's really hard to predict when everybody else is going to buy or sell something. If we knew that, then you'd be a billionaire, right? Actually, all the billionaires pretty much probably cheated. Whether you're Jeff Bezos, and you put a bunch of small businesses out of business by not charging sales tax and operating at a loss for many, many years, right? Or whoever you want to talk about. I mean, then again, Richard, he doesn't seem like he screwed anybody, because really there isn't anybody who said that, and there's lots of people who've dealt with him, and so. But I think Richard is the exception that proves the rule when it comes to billionaires. I think billionaires are pretty cold, heartless people. Although I've only known a couple in my life. It seems like Richard just wants to keep giving. And that's what the data says. The data that was uncovered in this audit that happened shows that the origin address owns 95% of the liquid HEX, and not a single HEX has been sold. That's beautiful. That's advanced game theory in action. That reminds me, there's another crypto founder I'm wanting to bring on this channel sometime. Told you someday I'd talk about my altcoin holding that I'm selling out of. Definitely. But bottom line is, HEX is probably a steal at these prices, 1.6 cents. I know I bought some more when it dipped down to 1.5, and I didn't get the 1.4, unfortunately. Okay, Liberty is getting crankier on Omega 369 and gained 10 pounds. He's our troll from Orange County, so I'm not sure if we can believe him or if we should take his word as the ultimate truth. But either way, appreciate you being in the chat. Liberty, where was I? Oh yeah, emotions. They'll get the best of you if you don't have a plan. And so there's lots of different ways, I think, to regulate how you do your investing. And since I'm not an investment advisor, I'm not sure I can tell you exactly what to do, but I can tell you what other people have done, and hopefully that'll give you some idea. I think playing the what if game is bad for you. You shouldn't go back into the past and imagine that you could have done things differently. If you can't accept the trades that you're going to make, or the long-term investments in this case that you're going to make, then don't make them, right? And a lot of times you kind of have to learn as you go, right? I know I learned a lot about the financial markets as I went. What did I do? I've done lots of wild things in the stock market, you could say, learning about how to short and long different companies. I never risked too much money, never got in over my head, but that's one way you learn sometimes is by taking a couple $100 and going long or short on something and realizing that the whole system is rigged, right? That's an expensive lesson, but it's cheap tuition, so I don't mind. And then when you're in crypto, I think that there's lots of different strategies that you can use. Hey, Whales Only, good to see you. I think in some cases, it's useful to be diversified, but in other cases, it's really not. Um, there's been so much good reading I've been doing lately, and I'm involved in so many different projects right now. It's hard to keep everything straight. I've been putting tons of energy and time into getting all the planning together for hexagon.vegas. We'll do an update about that here in a minute. But the bottom line is sometimes aping into something is the best bet. Other times it's not. It really depends on the market, and it depends on what your goals are. The part that drives you crazy, though, is second guessing yourself, thinking that you could have done better. You're always doing your best, even when your best isn't good enough. When you bought Dogecoin at 40 cents, you were doing your best, even though your best wasn't good enough. And so now, instead of putting all your energy into blaming yourself, banging your head against the wall repeatedly until you lose all your brain cells, right? You could be using that energy to be taking omega 369, to be tuning into these streams, and to be accepting and learning the skills that you need in order to do better, right? That's definitely some dialectic behavior therapy applied to finance. So there you go. What else can you do to stop driving yourself crazy? I would say stop looking at the numbers all the time. Stop checking your staker app, stop checking your Blockfolio, stop checking whatever app you use. But I'm not going to stop doing that. And I want to let everybody know that there was an awesome special edition episode of Hex Therapy Live over the weekend. You can rewatch it on 2X, and you'll get through it in about 90 minutes. But it was Nerd Girl 007 and Blaze and I all breaking down the psychology of cryptocurrency and HEX and a lot of other things. And there were some parts that we disagreed on, and that was one, I think, was I don't see anything wrong with checking the price every 10 seconds, and Nerd Girl was horribly against it. And I think, everybody's got their own beliefs about, whether that's healthy or not. And certainly if it's interfering with your relationships, or if your partner is finding it completely terrible that you're checking the price all the time, then cut it out, You don't need to do that. For me, maybe I'm rationalizing my own dopamine hits. Maybe I'm just addicted to checking the price, right? I prefer to think of it as riding the wave of information, right? A lot of times I'll check the prices of things I don't even own. And it's not because I want to own them. It's not because I don't think I'm already in the best investment. It's just I want to understand the markets. And the price of something, whatever everybody says about, oh, I'm in it for the technology. Not everybody's in it for the technology. Everybody's in it for the mad gains, right? That's something Richard says. So I think that's definitely true, and not something that everybody wants to hear, but it's an inconvenient truth, or convenient if you're investing in the right things, right? So what else? So you shouldn't second guess yourself. You shouldn't live in the past and imagine that you could have done better than you did. That's why I think it's so interesting that this Pulse opportunity is coming up for people to redo kind of what they could have done in HEX. Because there were a lot of us that were in HEX from day -50, right? Before HEX was released, and believed in it enough to pay attention, believed in it enough to invest some money, but I don't think most of us aped in like we maybe wish that we would have. And so what I keep hearing from a lot of people, and what I think the psychology of the HEX community is right now, is that of seeing PulseChain as a a do-over and a second chance, redemption sequence, if you will. And it's your chance to show that you believe in something and then reap all of the rewards or downside, right? The risk that that may involve, because there's going to be a lot of moving pieces to this whole fork thing, right? There is going to be probably a 30-day entry period either before or after the snapshot. And the snapshot will give you a copy of almost everything you hold on Ethereum into the Pulse chain. But then there's going to be an opportunity to buy more Pulse, to become a whale in Pulse, or whatever your corresponding rank would be. Maybe a shark or a dolphin or a squid or a turtle, right? But to not be a silent shell. And so I think that's what I see is a lot of people, they're preparing themselves, and there's become a consensus, it seems, that people buying liquid HEX seems to be one of the best moves if you want to buy Pulse here in the future. And so that's a really exciting development to see. So people will buy in with HEX or other ERC20 tokens into the Pulse launch sequence, right? The launch period. And then the chain will be launched, and all the people who don't believe in Richard are going to dump their copies of all their ERC20 tokens, and all the people who believe in him will scoop them up at discount prices. And then, once the people see what they have lost, all the mad gains that happen, when there might be, you know, I'm not sure which coin is going to be the first coin to be worth more. Well, I should say the second coin. I'm not sure what the second coin is going to be that's going to be worth more on Pulse than it will be on Ethereum. I think the first one is going to be HEX. I think HEX is going to be worth more on Pulse than it is on Ethereum. I think the Ethereum version of HEX is going to be great to hold on to. Don't go emergency end staking just because of your grudge for Vitalik, right? But it's going to be really exciting to see what other opportunities there are, because this is going to disrupt the entire ecosystem. And it is. It's going to come down to trust and community. And HEX and Richard and our community, we're going to come out on top. There's going to be fantastic opportunities for people to show how much they believe, and to, I think, to really financially benefit. So I think another thing that can drive you crazy, to wrap up this topic in crypto, is analysis paralysis. So not making a decision and watching the numbers go up and down and up and down. So, choose a strategy and stay on the cutting edge. Definitely. I love, a lot of Bitcoiners used to say in the beginning, they used to say, the first investment you should make in crypto is educating yourself, right? And so educating yourself on what the opportunities are at the moment. And then also, I would say, listen to enough different people so that you're not going to blame me, because I'm not telling you to do anything, right? I'm trying to be educational, and I don't want, people coming and yelling at me when they make their own choices, right? It's hard enough to deal with the choices that I make, which a lot of times it's easy because they're good choices, but that's because I've put in the work to work on myself. I take my omega-369. I exercise now regularly. I try to eat more and more healthy as I go. And I try to spend my time doing things that I believe in, which is trying to make the world a better place, trying to help other people. And I believe that I can do that in my psychology clinic where I work on a personal basis, but also I believe by working in crypto, by getting the word out. I can also do that on a more scalable way here with all you fine people watching. So thanks for tuning in. So there's a lot of ways you could drive yourself crazy with crypto. There's a lot of ways you could drive yourself sane by, um, you know, by making decisions that you're proud of, by getting out of the legacy system that's so corrupt, right? And I read one of the best pieces I've ever read on crypto today in the Concoda blog that gets emailed to me. I think it's also on Medium, Concoda, and it was just exceptionally written. Everything it said about the economy and what's going on in the psychology of crypto right now is spot on. And it basically said a lot of people don't care about crypto. A lot of people don't care about their financial freedom. It's going to take another economic crisis for people to care. And then maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't. But that's a dose of reality into our echo chamber that I should probably share on Twitter or something. Let's see. Awesome. Hey, how's it going, Russ? David Morales. Piston broke. Hex 19. Hey, you found a way to change your name. Good job. K Ann, thanks. Yeah, everybody hit the like button and subscribe. Mel Tony, I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Let's see. People saying hello to each other. Stream Elements is here to say we're live. How's it going, Mauricio? Nardo for the win. QC Organics, how's it going? David Morales, Marcovelli, yes. There we've got our link for Omega 369. Unhexable, still taking yours. Almost 6 months now. No way. Have I been streaming for 6 months or did you hear about it before me? Crypto Gains Club, how's it going? Nice emojis. How's it going? Buying low, selling no. Oh, I like that. That's really, really catchy. You should trademark that or tweet it or something. Let's see. Love you too, High Salted. Millionaires do not watch the stars, but billionaires do. Ah, more wisdom being dropped in the chat. All right, never said he was a billionaire in USD. Well, yeah, because he probably doesn't hold a bunch of USD because crypto is better. But I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire in Bitcoin and in Ethereum and in HEX. Probably, like, how much is Uniswap worth? Like, I think he's doing pretty well. Taking my Omega. Okay, yeah, we already covered that. Would I suggest keeping a crypto journal to track your feelings, ideas, and decisions with crypto? Yes. And you could look up like a trading journal. I'm looking over at my bookshelf to see if I have one here. I don't know where I put it, but yeah, if you Google what the pages look like, then you can get an idea and you can create your own or you can buy one. It's a very, very good idea to track what you think is going to happen and to learn yourself, right? Because if your gut's telling you to buy, that might be a good indication for you to not buy and to wait. Or if your gut's telling you to sell, it depends whether your gut is going to be helping you or not. So sometimes you can be a contrarian with yourself and do better. Other times it's best to, follow your rational mind, right? But if your heart is going to override your rational mind, then at least just do the opposite of your heart, right? Whales only, Nardo. This is standard in the legacy. Good idea. Massive respect to Richard, says Bitfinesse. Granting another opportunity for wealth creation. Gearing up for Pulse, I'm going to find out if driving 6,000 miles in a week is possible. Okay, before I even got to that part, I was already thinking to myself, I hope Bitfinesse doesn't drive himself to death over this whole thing. So we need you to take care of yourself out there and not push yourself so far that something that something would happen to you. We want you to be well. So our hardest working hexagon who is out there driving 6,000 miles in a week or less, I hope, in order to put more money into crypto and into HEX and Pulse. Very nice. Let's see. Extraordinary crypto. Nice. I think past, be sad. Think future, be anxious. Think present, be happy. Okay. It's a good mantra. Got the top of the hex, the bottom of the hex. How's it going, Hex King? Melvin. See you guys in Vegas. Oh. All right. So we kind of have to break it down here. Not everybody was buying their tickets to go to Vegas who's trying to go. And that presents a real problem for us, right? Because we need a true head count so that we can make enough space in the venues. This is having 100 plus people going to tons of different places, all trying to get into the same little restaurant or just anything. It's a huge undertaking, I would say. So we need an accurate head count. So if you're worried about the cost of the ticket to come to Vegas, which is including all these great things, an awesome t-shirt, a mask, because that's probably going to be required to at least have with you, an ID badge that's individualized to yourself. And then if we have extra funds, we could do like an NFT, we could do bus transportation, like a private bus to take us in between the different locations. Because I think getting like 30 Ubers at the same place at the same time in some of these locations at these peak times is going to be really difficult. So we really need everybody to get your ticket now so that we can have the money to order the shirts that are the highest quality, and to ship everything out is going to cost something. There's a privacy option if you're worried about that, so you can use your account name here. You don't have to give your home address. You can pick it up in Vegas, not a problem. But we need everybody to fill that out before Friday. And so at 11 o'clock Central Time on Friday, you won't be able to get tickets anymore. So that's why you need to FOMO into the tickets now. And that'll get you all your merch. That'll get you your ticket, your badge, your shirt, your mask, and then any other add-ons that we can do with the funds. So you could pay with crypto or you could pay with credit card. Any way you want to do it is fine. Go ahead and do that now. And the website, I know Richard retweeted today. He retweeted from a couple days ago my announcement. He is fully in support of the HEX meetup. He doesn't think he'll be able to make it, but I'm not counting him out. He's still invited. There are going to be so many amazing events in Vegas. The one that we've been highlighting lately is not just being able to meet up with all the different Hexagon streamers and all the community members, but also we're going to drive a tank over a car that has a bunch of shitcoin logos on it. So we'll ask the community to vote. Oh, and the tank is going to have a hex flag on it, like pirate as fuck. And then, we can ask the community, we can ask Richard, we can ask everybody to give their input. What do we want to put on the car that we're running over with the tank? We're going to live stream it. There's going to be a crowd of Hexicans cheering. That's just only going to be one of like 10 different activities that we're doing. So first Hex mass meetup, go to hexagon.vegas. There you will find all the links, or you could go to allmylinks.com/allin and you'll find all the links. But the link that you need the most right now is hexmeetup.eventbrite.com. Go ahead and order now or forever regret not coming. But I know when I made an announcement earlier today, there were like 14 tickets sold in an hour. It was crazy. I think Everybody's getting excited. Everybody's making their plans, and people go into the chat t.me/hex meetup and ask a question. I had somebody ask today, do you have to buy a ticket? And I'm like, yeah, what if you aren't included because we've got 150 people in there and they won't let any more people into the restaurant, or they won't let any more people into, I mean, being around the tank, I'm pretty sure we could fit in an unlimited number of people around there. We could have 500 people around the tank, but I don't think we could have 500 people in the Space Needle or in the Hex Kitchen, or even at the Heart Attack Grill, at the Nerd. I mean, lots of these places, even if they're at 100% capacity, they're going to be, this is going to be the new roaring 20s. Vegas is going to be completely packed and overwhelmed with how many visitors they're going to have at the end of June when we're there. That's going to make it so much better, but also we need to take advantage of these opportunities. T-Money, who's helping to coordinate everything, he's getting the car that we're going to run over. He's friends with the people who own Battlefield Vegas. He's deeply connected into all the different people who run Vegas. He even said he's going to get the Jumbotron. Like, if there's a giant screen everywhere in Vegas, the canopy on Fremont Street, the big screens that are like 1,000 feet tall outside of MGM, if there's going to be a Hex event and we're going near one of those signs, he can put Hex logos all over it. Or he can make it so the Australian Hexicans can live stream to us for a couple of minutes on the giant screen. I mean, it's just, there's going to be so many amazing opportunities. We're going to go to a Smash Room. We're going to go to, let's see, we're going to go to a secret bar, because that's like a Bitcoin thing. We're going to go to a secret bar that has a secret entrance. That'll be cool. We're going to go to the top of the Space Needle. We're going to go, where else? We're just going to be meeting up everywhere. And so if you want to see all the details, go to hexican.vegas. And if Papa B doesn't get in here and make fun of how I pronounce Vegas, like the Vegas nerve that controls your memory, then I don't know what I'm doing here. But this is going to be awesome. So go ahead, hexmeetup.eventbrite.com. Sign up now. Let's see. Let's see. And I know some influencers like aren't talking about it as much publicly because they don't want you to to break into their homes when they're gone and stuff like that. But we're going to go over security, and we're going to let everybody take the OPSEC that they want. But personally, I know that there's going to be tons of people there, pretty much everybody. So you got to get in while the going is good. Let's see here. Okay, we already went over. Read books on speculation. Okay, pdfdrive.com. You can get lots of books on any topic if you don't want to get wrecked. Okay, Hornet UK, how's it going? Let's see. Looking forward to the next stream, says Liberty. Let's see. Although the opportunity is there will be many people who wouldn't have been able to take the appropriate steps without laying the mental framework at our feet. Thank you, Maddie. Of course, it's my pleasure to help pump people up and educate people, and hopefully not lead people down the wrong path that I'm going. Check my tomato plants. Okay. I'm not sure if you're going to throw tomatoes at me like 300 years ago when you wanted somebody to get off stage. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm checking in about 8 hours a day as I'm home. You're checking the price. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, to each his own. I mean, we could talk about whether it's functional or not for somebody to do that, right? But if you're dating Nerd Girl 007, don't you dare check the price more than twice a day. You've been warned. Gerardo been doing excellent TA videos. Awesome. Yeah, we got yeah, I definitely followed him this week. Or I think I was already following him, but I watched one of his videos. Let's see. It's gonna be good. Second coming, that's right. PulseChain. Depends. Okay, people talking to each other. Pancake has been pumping. I could have held that. Sure. Yeah, you could have held that. But don't think negative thoughts about what your decisions have been in the past. I mean, what? Pancake swap, isn't that some sort of chain or swap thing? I think Uniswap and HEX and Pulse are really going to do really well in this market. I struggle with thinking I don't deserve it. Turned $4,000 early last year into yearly HEX income of more than all my peers. Now I'm too happy for them to handle. Delayed gratification is real. I love that comment. Typed emotion. Welcome to the comments. Good to have you with us tonight. Let's see. Can't see every coin coming over, to be honest. Yeah, that's true. Some people don't think that the stable coins will come over. I just shitpost on the internet and work on my happiness. My normie friends hate. Well, there you go. What else could you want in life? I guess you could get your normie friends into Pulse. Maybe they'll get mad gains too. What's the purpose of the Pulse token? Well, it's like gas, I think. It's to facilitate transactions and to appreciate in value. Those are two good goals, right? What's going on, Matty Crypto? Good to see you. I like your name. Let's see. Hit the like, subscribe. Pulse launch, gonna be insanity. So when do people think it's gonna launch? Some people have guessed 2 months, some people 6, some people think it'll launch tomorrow. I should put a poll up on YouTube. It's been a long time since we did a poll. Is FOMO a strategy? Well, yeah, I mean, day one is probably going to be the best day to buy Pulse because the price goes up during the launch phase significantly. Let's see. It's used for fees, staking. Yeah, it's used for fees. Correct. It's also deflationary. What does Ethereum do? Good point. Think of Pulse like ETH, but better and with features you can't imagine. Oh, hey, we've got, that reminds me, we got breaking news. Coinbase is advertising that you can stake HEX, that you can stake ETH. Cut that last part out. I didn't mean to misspeak. When I think stake, I think HEX, but Ethereum. So the announcement that they have posted is literally saying, and I took some screenshots, I'll put them up sometime. It's literally saying, do you want to earn 7.5% on your Ethereum by locking it? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna click on this and do my diligence and see what they're talking about. What's this 7.5%? So I click on it and they're like, in 1 to 3 years, Ethereum will enable staking. And we're not really going to explain to you what all that means. And then it's like, then you can like learn more. Oh, and it says like you can only get 6.5% when you actually click on it. So it's like they've got a bug in their system or something. I don't even know. It's just hilarious. You just go on Coinbase and it just pops up. So then they're already changing the terms of the deal, even though the deal isn't going to start for another year or 3 years. And literally, they put those numbers on there. Like, that's how long it's going to take to get ETH 2.0. And then Then when you go deep into the explanations, they have a frequently asked questions type thing. And it's like, will I be able to trade my staked ETH? And they're like, yeah, they're going to make encapsulated ETH. So they're already putting this on their site or on their app, talking about how they're going to have encapsulated ETH stakes to trade, which is like kind of backwards to me because it's also arbitrary and strange. Like in HEX, it's a percentage. We know how the staking works and what the rules are in HEX because HEX is a finished product. In Ethereum, they've been talking about this for years already, and they don't have the rules figured out yet. They haven't made the decisions on where the value even comes from. So they're years behind the competition, if you ask me. So I just thought that was fascinating. It's something I discovered this week. It was just, doing my research and whoa, they got this whole idea too. And it's like, all right, so if you're staking and then you're trading it, explain to me again, like how it's really staked. But I know we've touched on this topic for hours and hours in HEX, and it makes way more sense to me. It's like encapsulated HEX than it does encapsulated ETH. So just take that as you will. But I think that's an important thing. I'll probably put it in the PulseChain dev chat or something to make sure people know what the competition's up to. And what they're up to is failing miserably, if you wanted to summarize what I just said. Emotions pay fees for the network. That's kind of a brilliant way to put it. I'm not sure if you're making a joke or if you're being super insightful, but I think it's both. So well said, Tolo. The next economic crisis is coming. Wow, no worries. Okay. Let's see, 123 rabbit, like, excellent. And if you want to hit the thumbs up button too, that's even better. Or it's actually commenting is probably pretty good too. I know the politics of my hometown very well. How's it going, Stu? Let's see. Good to see you, Eamon from the Philippines. Let's see. People still sleepwalking out here, shaking your head. Let's see. Okay, you've said that many times. Welcome. Welcome aboard. Be so funny if Richard becomes the richest man on earth. Yeah, I was thinking that today. I think he will. Some things you just know, like Apple, they started making iPhones, and once it got to like the third iPhone, you're like, all right, yeah, these people got to figure it out. Like, how many more years did it take for Apple to become the biggest publicly traded company in the world? Several years, right? Makes me grateful. Let's see. Thanks for mentioning buying low, selling. No, I'm not into trademarks too much. Sharing is caring. Well, there you go. Even better. Even better. I can't make it this time, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys stream in Vegas. Awesome. And stream we will. I think I'm going to set those up soon, like the pages for it way ahead of time. We're about, what are we? A little bit less than 2 months out. Time to get excited. Let's see. OC Troll. I'm proud to be a Hexican and love what you do, Maddie. Ah, I knew it. Put XRP on the car. All right. Well, hey, we're going to have all kinds of opportunities to put lots of stuff on the car. Any suggestions you have are welcome. Maybe everybody can choose something, or we get a bottle of spray paint, or I could order a bunch of giant stickers ahead of time. People could vote on what they want, get a bunch of different things on there. I was thinking today, we could have like a life-size cutout of Tone Vase like inside of the car, but then I realized that that might be glorifying violence or something, and I really don't want this to get taken down from YouTube because I think it's going to be an awesome marketing opportunity. So those are the boundaries, I think. That you know. So XRP, I would like to see that on the car, Vince. Why do women cheat? Why does anyone cheat? Because they're insecure, um, because they're feeling lust, because um, they're drunk, right? There could be all kinds of reasons. I don't think it's only related to women though, because you know, because their needs aren't being met by themselves or by other people. Um, because their needs are being met too much. I mean, there's a million ways to skin a cat, you know. Wish I could be there. Well, hopefully you'll check out the stream and you'll check it out. Hey, Chloe, good to see you. Um, what about the UK Hexicans? Well, I think you could, yeah, I think you could do a meetup at the same time we do, maybe, if you're allowed to. I'm not sure what the rules are in England right now. Ah, self-deprecating humor. There you go. Maddie, you rock. Thanks. I appreciate it. Let's see. Get crazy. My girl is also massively into crypto, so it's all good. We'll have to kick the habit next week, though. Okay, there you go. FOMO equals strategy unchecked. Okay, so um, yeah, I mean, you could read different economic analyses of whether it's good to ape into crypto or not, or to miss out, fear of missing out. Can you elaborate a bit about the history and what could come in the future, like the fork and price wise? Is now a good time to get in some more? It just dropped a good portion or wait a bit. Well, what am I doing? I've got some dry powder on the side and I've got some money that I put in this week. I don't buy HEX every week. I don't know. How often do I buy HEX? It's not like planned out. My investing strategy is very like intuitive, I think. And in a way, I guess it's organized because I continue to dollar cost average out of another coin that's done super well. And so that's something. But I'm also, I don't know, I kind of take it as it comes, feel it out. I mean, I believe strongly in the long-term value of HEX. I think if you buy HEX now, you're going to get a copy on PulseChain. You're going to get some Pulse tokens. And so, I mean, the riskiest thing I'm doing probably is chasing airdrops. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that risk. Why am I chasing airdrops? Because I want to buy more HEX and I want to be able to hold more HEX and not have to sell it in the future. So, I mean, yeah, the history, you could see it in the chart, right? If you look at the chart of HEX, the history is right there in front of you. It's very rare when Richard comes out and says, hey, now's a good idea to like people seem to be buying now. Seems like that's a good idea, right? I've heard him say that like once or twice. He said it when HEX was 1 Satoshi, and I didn't listen then. And then he said it again when it was 0.3 of a cent, and I listened then. So I moved some money around and bought a bunch then. And by a bunch, I just mean relative to like my income, not my savings, right? So I don't know if it's that much, but it's how much has it gone up since then, right? A third of us. So like 5 times, 5x to 1.5 cents. So that's awesome, right? So listen to Richard. Um, I mean, whenever it corrects 50%, if you think it's going to go back up, that's a 50% discount, right? Or if it goes down 40%. So waiting for an 80% pullback might not happen, right? Or it might happen. So depending on your own financial situation, you're going to decide whether it makes sense to make a purchase, right? Because if you're only buying with $100 and the fee to trade is $30 to do a swap, that maybe it's better to wait even if the price goes up 10% or 20%. Maybe it's better to wait, right? Or maybe it's better to buy in because the price is going to shoot up. It's like I was saying earlier, it's impossible to tell when other people are going to buy and sell. And that's what makes markets so complicated, and that's what causes so much price discovery, right? We're still discovering what the price of HEX should be. It's still volatile. I buy when there's pullbacks. The more of a pullback, the better. And the more excited I get by tuning into the quantgang.com stream that I'm a part of, right? Like that gets me in the mood to make some difficult choices and to, because it doesn't feel good buying a 50% dip. It doesn't. For me, it feels bad. It hurts, but no pain, no gain, right? And whenever I invest, like I accept the fact that it could go to zero. Like there's some cryptos I think there's one that I'm still down on. Um, so it's possible. It's possible to lose money, of course, and so don't play with money that you're going to need anytime soon. And then you're more able to ride out the waves, right? But 1.5 cents, I mean, that was really kind of a high not too long ago. I mean, before big payday, I would say it was about a penny or 1.2, 1.5. Around New Year's Eve, it was. Now there was a celebratory wick that went up right at midnight. Not a scam wick. It was just somebody wanted to celebrate, and so yeah, um, that's it. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts about the history. So were there opportunities in between those times? When were some buying opportunities that we took advantage of? Well, when Hex went to 7/10 of a penny, I bought it, right? Because that's when we started the quant stream and we were talking about it and we are like, wow, it went down. It went down from 2 cents when it was really 1.5 cents was the actual level that it was at before that, the all-time high. Hey, it's at 50% of the all-time high. I want to buy it at that discount, right? Hex is a savings mechanism. So you either want to do segments of time where you buy, or you want to use a strategy where you're buying whenever there's a certain percentage that goes down, or a combination of the two, right? But don't get them twisted and don't think that you're always going to buy the bottom. But when you're having a regular savings mechanism, I mean, Kareem says that he buys every Friday when he gets paid. But he also says that he took an advance on his pay, kind of in his own way, that wasn't going to wreck him. But he had already made some sales, and so he took that money from whatever reserve he was using, and he bought Hex because he saw the 40-50% dip that was occurring recently. So that's a good example too of my strategy. For me, there's always a little bit of wiggle room because because I'm dollar cost averaging out of something because I'm continuing to earn a salary. Well, not a salary, but I'm continuing to earn income. So it's you can do more than one strategy at once, or you can have your favorite strategy. Just don't second guess yourself. Let's see. Hello, cat sitting while kids go to Vegas. That's awesome. Um, I appreciate, yeah, the people in the HEX community and your kids, I'm sure really appreciate you uh, watching the pets while the kids go to Vegas. That's awesome. Uh, Binance tweeted, um, okay, I have no idea what that means. That's okay. Don't answer 3 a.m. phone calls. There you go. Um, Women cheat because don't have enough T-shares. Get more T-shares. That could be Marco. Um, what is a stablecoin? A stablecoin is a crypto that's meant to hold the value of $1. And there have been some stablecoins that were trying to hold their peg to $1 and they couldn't do it. And other coins are more trusted. Although in crypto, the whole point is to not be tied to the dollar. And so it is an area of controversy. But I think a lot of people do like believe that it's worthwhile to hold US dollar coin. USDC is probably the favorite. And then after that is USDT, which is Tether. And but the problem with that is like Circle is the company who controls USDC. So if a judge goes to them and says like turn off this person's account, then they turn it off. But that doesn't happen very often. And so this is what people use when they're trading. If they think the price of crypto is going to go down and they don't want to cash out all the way to their bank and then have to buy back in with extra fees through Coinbase or something, then you can just hold USDC on the side to wait for the price to fall and then you can buy in cheaper. Instead of having, if you think the whole crypto market's going to go down at once, then you would be holding more USDC. Am I wrong to want HEX to tank for a year or so I can buy cheaper? That's not wrong. I mean, if you're going to, you should probably create some FUD in the marketplace or something, uh, like the guy from Harassium Coin did. He definitely wants it to tank. The that has nothing to do with the tank that we're driving over the Bitcoin car. How's it going, Identity Black? Good to see you. Molly the investor, one of the geniuses that was on the Wake Up Hex show this morning. I really appreciated your analysis on PulseCoin. I think it's outstanding. I know you and I are competing with each other for airdrops, so I got to watch what I say. Just kidding. Speaking of which, I have been creating OpenSea wallets. I made 5 of them today. They have different seeds. Of course, because Dollar Cost Crypto said publicly in his stream with Crypty Girl yesterday or the day before that he is predicting OpenSea will do an airdrop because Andreessen Horowitz, the venture capital firm, behemoth that invested in, was it 1inch or Uniswap before they did their airdrop, they've been buying into OpenSea. So if that tells you anything, then maybe people want to chase that airdrop, and you can do so if you want by visiting my NFT store, or you could launch your own NFT. So I don't want people to think I'm, just trying to profit or anything. I've got mine priced at $20, or I guess it's now that Ethereum is 2,700, they're $27, and the hex badges There is a ski cap badge now that just got released. I think there's only 69 of them in existence. Trying not to I'm resisting all my urges, but I made 10,000 of the first badges, and I don't know. We can always do version 2 or something, but I've been buying them up um, with my other accounts, right? And so that's what you can do. You can launch your own NFT. Maybe other hexagons will buy it, but you can buy it with your different seed accounts, right? And then you get the money from the sale. If you use one account and then buy it with a different account, then you're going to possibly qualify for 2 different airdrops. If you're using different seeds, then that makes it more likely that you won't be wasting your money, which you could be. It's literally like throwing away money. But I think today gas got down to like 32 Gwei. And so I think I created 5 OpenSea wallet buys, and they were like $18 or $19 each in gas. So that was pretty sweet. Now, if you're going to launch your own NFT, don't do it on OpenSea, do it on Rarible, because Rarible allows you to make more than one of the NFT. So you can make 100 or you can make 10 or something. And that might cost you, when the gas is low, it might cost you 20 or 30 or $40 to launch your own NFT. So maybe you're launching a few of them, just a few of the same JPEG that you upload, and and so then you list it on OpenSea, because if you just create it on Rarible, OpenSea won't let you. Sorry, there's a fly. OpenSea will not let you create more than one of an NFT. So you're gonna have to pay $40 to create the NFT for every NFT you make. And that's definitely throwing away money. That's why you want to create the NFT on Rarible. You can create 100 of them. Then you can list each individual one. You only have to pay the first time, maybe $20 in gas, to list on OpenSea. And then everything you do on OpenSea, like listing things, is free. You just have to sign with your wallet every time. So you go to OpenSea, you link up your Rarible account, and you start listing your Rarible NFTs on OpenSea, and then you can buy them from yourself through OpenSea. Rarible, they already did some weird airdrop where they were giving away like 1 Rari token per transaction or something that you did. So I already sold those. But yeah, OpenSea. So it's OpenSea.io/accounts/hex badge. That is where you're going to find. And you can also go to t.me/hex badge. And I think, yeah, there's tweets and links in there. You might have to click on the tweet in order to get to the link, because there's a typo in it, but it should be there for you. Now, see, I don't know why I'm sharing this with all 80 people that are watching, because Motley's in the bunch and I'm trying to beat him on airdrops. But I think he's been really open with me, and it's a friendly competition that we have. I think it'll either benefit us both or wreck us both, how we've prepared for MetaMask and other airdrops. But definitely a good competition. He's kicking my ass so far because he got one of these airdrops that I didn't. So hats off to you, and excited to continue the competition, for many years to come, to see how we can both do well, and do well for the community by encouraging others to take advantage of certain risky opportunities. Let's see. Okay, and here's the address to be able to go to that. Let's see. lost my place here in the comments. Okay. Elaborate on the history. What is a stable coin? Motley's in the house. For stakers, there are two prices we need to consider: USD price and T-shares price. That's right. Boom. How's it going? Crypto King. Good to see you. Saying hi to everybody. If I have 150,000 HEX staked for 5,555 days, does that mean I'll have an additional 150,000 HEX staked on PulseChain when that releases? Yes. And it'll be controlled by the same private keys that you never share with anybody, right? That's our understanding. Best hair in crypto. Oh, Toby Wan, you're too kind, too kind. Let's see. How do you chase airdrops? So that's what I've been discussing here for a moment. And the chasing part means kind of acknowledging that the money might be wasted, right? Because there have been 3 or 4 big airdrops that members of the HEX community have benefited from in the past. And overall, we were surprised by each one. Well, that's when Motley and I declared that we would never again want to be surprised by an airdrop. We would want to plan ahead, cheat the system, and try to pretend to be as many people as we could all at once so that we could get more free money. And, I think the Uniswap airdrop at the time that it was released was worth $1,200 for any person who ever transacted on Uniswap before the snapshot. It was back in, was it in September or around then? Those tokens now are worth an ungodly amount of money, like $20,000. And then along came 1inch exchange. They did an airdrop. That one was worth a couple $1,000s. Then they did like a second part of it. That one was worth like 3,500. Then Tornado.cash did one where everybody got a different amount. That was about, and again, anybody who ever used it, they got maybe $5,000. Then Merle.art released like a paint token for anybody who ever made an NFT before a big payday, just a random occurrence that they chose before that day. But that was in November. So they released their coins, I think back in February or March, but they had taken the snapshot secretly 2 or 3 months before that. So that's another way that these things can go. So that would suck if somebody did a bunch of trades on MetaMask or did one trade per seed wallet on MetaMask, and those can cost $30, right? And you were trying to chase the MetaMask airdrop, and then MetaMask does an airdrop, but they say that you had to transact, a few days before, you didn't make the cutoff or something. Because that's the whole point of airdrops, is it has to be a surprise. If it wasn't a surprise, then like everybody in the company and everybody in crypto would just try to fake the system and would all do a transaction to get the free money. So literally, it has to be a surprise. It has to be unexpected. Otherwise, the game theory doesn't work. And it kind of falls apart, because then the whole reason that these airdrops can have value is because it creates a larger community of people who's incentivized to use that platform. The more people who are using a platform, the more value that platform can have. And so, okay. Oh, so it was Uniswap did their airdrop like a month after their Series A investment round. Is super fascinating information. OpenSea had its last month? Whoa. And I can't believe. So they might go back and they might look at the gas fees having dropped, and they might say, well, we're only going to count transactions that happened before the gas fees dropped, because we want to cut people out who maybe were cheating the system. But if Richard's right that you can tell if you're giving an airdrop whether people have different seeds or not, because some people, they would try to cheat the system by only creating one seed phrase and then creating 100 accounts within that seed phrase. I think Molly and I are some of the only people in crypto to know, and I say this kind of jokingly, but I think MetaMask only supports like 100 accounts or something. I read that somewhere. I haven't hit 100 on any of my own, but we're getting there. But that's not even the way to do it, right? Because you want to have separate seeds. So if they can see different seeds, then you want to make sure that you're using different seeds, which takes so much more effort. Some people wouldn't do it. But when you go into Google Chrome on desktop, you can create a new profile. And it's like, that's what it's called, is creating a new profile. And then you can install MetaMask a whole new time without messing with your old MetaMask. It's really cool. It's not that hard to do. But then writing down all the seed words and everything, I mean, it takes time, but what do you want? You know, we're talking about huge amounts of free money, potentially, or just wasting money. But either way, I mean, I would rather throw away $100 on 5 OpenSea wallets than to like put $100 into Pancake Swap or what's Bakery Swap or whatever, like the pump and dump coin of the day is. I don't stress out about the airdrops. If the airdrop happens, that's going to be like an amazing day, right? It's going to be like winning the lot. It's going to be like the feeling of winning the lottery. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. And if it doesn't happen, like I've already accepted, the money is gone. You know, like whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Wow. You're making my mouth water for those juicy airdrops, right? Um, I did an NFT collection with a friend. We have tons of accounts. Ah, very nice, very nice. And did you follow the different seed recommendation, or did you just have one big account, one big? The terminology is so difficult, right? MetaMask calls them accounts. They're separate accounts within the same seed wallet. Good info, worth a shot. There you go. Yeah, check it out. You could buy one from Hex Badges, or you could create your own. Another Hex Asian in the house. Boom. What's going on, Miss Hexquisite? Let's see. Costs $7 to transfer an NFT to someone, but I'm not sure if that's going to qualify. Correct. So here's what we do. We go to, let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. So if I go to my YouTube account and then I go to, oh, when I'm streaming, it doesn't actually show me the main page. If I go all the way back to the HEX conference, day 4, and then I go to the donation address, people know that somebody, maybe the OA controls that, maybe it's me, who knows? But like, let's see, do I have a good example on there? Because I tried to make good examples on there for people to dig into. Let me share my screen here. So it's etherscan.io, and then you're looking at the actual record on the blockchain. This is important. I'm glad you asked this question. So if we zoom in here. So people have been paying for the conference using this account. So people are, This money's going to go towards t-shirts and stuff. Let's see. So we've got these different columns here, right? And then if we look at the 2 column, it'll tell us like what contract it's interacting with. And so this is how you know, like some people, including myself, thought that we didn't qualify for the 1-inch airdrop because it wasn't showing up in our wallet. It wasn't showing up on the website because when you're checking multiple accounts at the same time, the website just wasn't loading everything correctly. And so there's a bunch of people who are like, yeah, I used 1-inch. Why didn't I get my airdrop? Maybe you did get your airdrop. You need to go on Etherscan. You need to look up each of your addresses, and you need to look and see if you interacted with the swap router for 1-inch, right? Here you can see I was chasing a Paraswap airdrop. Now, I didn't do that very much because I don't know, it's not a top exchange. But here you can see I interacted with MetaMask. That's how I know that I might qualify for a MetaMask airdrop, is because it says MetaMask on there, right? And so that's what you would look for with OpenSea, whether you interacted with the contract. And it'll say like register, creator, OpenSea, or it'll say like OpenSea, you bought something basically. And so this is the record that's part of the public blockchain that could be read in order to create an airdrop. That's what I'm saying. So look there. That's how you'll know if you interacted with a contract that could qualify you for an airdrop. Awesome. Welcome to NFT school. Airdrop 401 is the title of the class. You sent me a badge, but couldn't claim the paint. Okay, that's because the HEX badges were created after the big payday. And so they weren't created early enough. So I didn't get any paint airdrop either. I think it was only for people who created their own NFT. So I know that some people in the community like Hexo and Abit got that, and we're happy for them. But there's also, I mean, there have been people who have reached out to me and said like, thank you, because I kept bringing it up, and then they found that they qualified and they got some thousands, $1,000 or $2 to put into HEX. So that's really awesome. It's really, I think it's a win-win for everybody. If you can accept and I know Johnny, he does a really good job of kind of balancing out some of the stuff that Motley and I say and tells people not to chase airdrops. And that's good advice too. I can post my NFTs at 0 ETH if anyone wants to buy. I would list it at least like a fraction of a penny. And the reason I have mine listed at 0.01 ETH is because and I'm buying these for myself, right? So I could set the price lower. And that goes into my, OpenSea takes a 2.5% cut. So they're getting $1 or $2. And then, but with 1-inch, they made a bunch of rules about their airdrop. And one of them was having a minimum transaction size if you transacted after a certain date. So they did like a snapshot, and before that, anybody who transacted would get tokens. And then after that date, anybody who did at least like 5 transactions or a minimum amount of $25 or something, they literally, I think, cut out those dates because people were gaming the system and they could see it on the blockchain. People were doing super low transaction fees. And so that's why I would recommend, especially if you're buying from yourself, to go ahead and make it a little bit more expensive than that. But then again, you can make some really cheap ones, and then people could, if people are only trying to make one wallet, then they could buy one from you at a penny or something like that, and then still pay the $20 gas fee, right? And then would possibly qualify. But I would hate to see those people get cut out because they didn't spend the extra $20. But then again, you can make twice the wallets if you do it that way. So I would say do it however you want. If you're going to make a bunch of wallets, then launch your own NFT so you can buy them from yourself, because that's only going to cost you like $40 if you do it right. 40 or $50 to be your own artist. um, and maybe you sell one to somebody else too. You know, somebody who's not as advanced of a user, maybe you sell one to them for $20. Now you start covering your own costs of, now it becomes something where you haven't made or lost any money. That's kind of where I am with it. I think I've sold maybe 3 or 4 recently here since I started talking about it again. Maybe more, I'm not sure. It's not been over 10. Um, most of them I've been selling to myself. Let's see. How much does the Sacred App wallet cost? I think they started selling those. I think it says in the app now. You can ask in their Discord too. Definitely. I think it's 0.01 ETH or 0.02, somewhere in there. I think it's 0.01, and that's a good discount. So you can message them and find out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go and registered for the HEX meetup. Well, thanks, Sig Hex. I'm glad. And you asked a great question when you were questioning, whether it's really beneficial to register or not. Think Charizard is up to $55,000, which is one of the coolest NFTs out there, in Dollar Cost Crypto's opinion. Mine and Motley's as well, because we're all Pokemon card fans. That reminds me, I really want to. Oh, wait, is it 9 o'clock? Have I been streaming for 2 hours? I think Knights of the Crypto Roundtable are getting ready to go live here soon. So I'm going to wrap up the show here, and then we can raid them, because I love watching their stream every week. I'm excited to see their stream, which is moved to Thursdays now after my spot, because I don't go for 5 hours like we do on Tuesday nights. And so on OpenSea, is user Hex Crypto official? Probably not. I don't think so. What's the link to check if your address is eligible for an airdrop? Go to etherscan.io and see what's recorded there, and then you can see what airdrops you could get. MetaMask knows its own subwallet. Okay, good point. What should we trade on OpenSea? You could buy a Hex badge, like I said before, or anything. Just search whatever you're interested in. I think I bought one that wasn't a Hex related one. I think I paid $20 for, it was like a 90s pill. It's like 90s. I'll show it sometime. It's cool. It's like a Daily Dose NFT is the name of the creator. You got some cool ones. If they're smart, they would prepare for it. Hi, Maddie. Do you know if MetaMask airdrop is coming? I hope it is. I've prepared for it. I hope more people use MetaMask to swap if they're already buying Hex, and then you might qualify. I've been trying to help onboard people through that method. Hex was like winning the lottery. Pulse is going to be another. That's right. Just joining. Great to see everyone. Well, Brian, are you guys streaming now at 9? I'm excited to raid you because you guys have such a great stream. They stole your money. Who did? Yeah, well, I mean, if I gave it to him, I don't know if it's stealing. Airdrop school, yay! I'd make a bet on Parrot and Matcha. Matcha, okay. I haven't seen Matcha record onto etherscan.io. Maybe I need to go back and look at that, but that's something that I noticed, and so I decided not to really do that many wallets on there. I made some pixel art earlier this month. Well done. Oh, that reminds me. There's a free version of Photoshop that's like all based online. I use it a lot. It's really awesome. It's called pixlr.com. Pixlr.com. Don't ever pay those greedy bastards at Adobe Photoshop another dime. You can make thumbnails as great as I can, probably better. Any news on Vegas opening up? Yeah, they're going to open up. They'll be 100% on June 1st. Can you drop that link? Link to what? To Hex Badge? That might be what you're talking about. Do I think a V3 is coming? Brennan, good to see you. V3, somebody said, is May 5th, right? For Uniswap V3. Is there a V3 of what? There could be a lot of things. Benny made it. Feels good. All right, we're just wrapping up here. So I'm glad you made it too. Saying hi to everybody. Waiting to troll to make Maddie angry like Pep. That's funny, I think. Don't think Maddie gets very angry. Probably right. Let's see. What if we get V3 drop and MetaMask drop around the same time? We have millions to pump into Pulse. Oh, that'd be fantastic. V3 Uniswap airdrop. Okay. They have a $17 billion treasury. Well, how would you qualify for that? Just by ever transacting on Uniswap, do you think? Do I need to do that more? Is there any use for holding Uniswap tokens in an account? Does that do anything? Same as before, you think? Okay. Well, we're going to have our experts look into that. And thank you so much, Hex19, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You're causing the channel to be seen by more people and contributing to the cost of the show, which is, we got costs here. We made the Quant Gang logo and paid ABIT, $50 in Hex. We pay $50 a month for the streaming service to stream on multiple platforms. And so I really appreciate it when you support the channel. Same as before. What experts? Oh yeah, we're the experts. Damn it. Awesome. Well, I definitely take into consideration all the things that Brennan has said and posted on Twitter about different airdrops, and that's how I got turned on to a lot of the ones that I'm chasing, other than MetaMask and OpenSea. Let me see. Do I have a list here of the ones I've looked into myself? Full disclosure, Rarible, kind of got that one already. Let's see. Xerion, I've done. Paraswap, Matcha, like I said, I'm not sure if they're really recording. So those are the ones and then the Ethereum naming system, I've used that some, that shows up. QuakeSwap, I don't think they're doing anything special. I used them once or twice, but ZK Swap, same thing. But I've started keeping track of which accounts interact with which contracts so that I can easily look and see. And then keeping a little bit of liquid ETH, because we know the price of transactions goes up really high whenever there's an airdrop that people might be ready to dump, because it's sometimes you want to dump right at the beginning, sometimes you want to hold. Either way. So Brennan is pointing out again the list that was shared previously includes some other ones: Xerion, Para, Swap, Matcha, Metaswap, Zapper. Those were the ones I did 8 wallets each with a unique seed. Very good. Good to know. That's very helpful. We're beasts. That's right. You are correct, my friend. And I hope that you FOMO into the airdrops as much as you're willing to. OpenSea, very likely their competition is airdropping. You mean they are themselves? I'll see you on Look Into Crypto's great show. Love you. Awesome. Well, I've already got the link ready to share because I think that those guys have gone live. So here's the link to Crypto Knights of the Roundtable, an outstanding stream. And they're going to be talking with probably Crypto Coffee and Motley the Investor, Balliot Brand, and Look Into Crypto and Dollar Cost Crypto are, I think, the main people who are on that show. And tonight they're hosting it. Yeah, there they are. Tonight they're hosting it. I'm looking at Crypto's channel. Go ahead and subscribe to him. He's got 622 subscribers. Once he breaks the 1,000 mark, then they'll give him special privileges there on YouTube. So definitely make sure to switch over there. We got 65 people watching here, and now we're going to switch over. I'm already watching them. I hope you do too. I'm going to do my quick outro here and let them know where you came from. Let them know that we're rating from my stream, and get excited to learn even more from them. This has been Hex Therapy Live. Stake wisely, my friends.